Hey legends!
I'm Jazzy.
And I am Robbie.
And we are making caramel popcorn today.
Yes.
Now, caramel popcorn is definitely my favorite popcorn. If I'm going to the movies and I'm having a treat, I'm getting caramel popcorn. But tonight, what are we doing?
It is date night, so
Yes.
we're making caramel corn, or caramel corn.
Caramel corn.
Yeah, and then we're gonna enjoy it while we watch some movies.
Yeah, so if you want to have a cheap date night in, this is a great recipe to have and to have as a little treat to enjoy with your significant other or your friends.
There you go.
You can have date night with your friends.
You can.
Gals night, boys night.
Boys
all
night
the
in.
boys getting in and
All the
making all that.
boys making their caramel corn.
So the first thing that you will need half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, so not baking powder.
Yeah,
I did that last time.
We made the mistake last time and it didn't rise.
And then
because it's
Robbie's
soda.
looking at it, he's like, it says baking soda. I was like, wait, what? Not baking powder. So then we had to add the baking powder after.
So
But
baking
anyways,
soda.
BI-CARB soda. Next one, half a teaspoon of vanilla sugar. Now, you can use vanilla extract. That's what the recipe says to do. But we don't have vanilla extract, so we're gonna use vanilla sugar because I just found whatever we had in the pantry, and that's what you do when you're cooking for a cheap night in. All right, next, what else do you need?
So next ingredient is 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar.
Yes, and then you've got a half a cup of butter. Now you're gonna melt the butter, and I think that's half a cup. It doesn't matter.
We'll see, we can just adjust. Yeah, and it says in the recipe not to use margarine or anything. So
we don't know why.
Don't know why, but we
you
listen to the
can't
recipe.
use it. All right, next ingredient is 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup. Now you're supposed to use corn syrup, but last time I didn't have corn syrup, I had maple syrup, and I still have maple syrup, and it worked out, and it
turned
was
out okay.
fine. It says that you can use maple syrup, and it says that you can also use honey. So our version has maple syrup because that's what we have. Next thing is 1 cup of popcorn. You'll need a saucepan, like a little pot. This one's a special one to pour with. Need a wooden spoon. I prefer wooden because I don't like plastics and I don't like metal because it scratches your pan. But you can use whatever spoon you have. You need 2 tossing spoons for when you toss the popcorn for the caramel around it. You need a whisk, baking paper, and you also need trays. Now, we don't have a large enough like tray. So we're just going to use these plates which are fine in in the oven. They only go in the oven for a little bit, so it's okay. So we've got 2 of those. And then for the popcorn popping, my method of popping popcorn is just in the microwave without any butter or oils. Now, I reckon we should get started.
Let's get into it. Alright guys, step 1 is always to preheat the oven. So what do we preheat it to?
225 Fahrenheit. Now, cheap way that I do, I just turn it on the highest setting and heats up the oven quicker.
Hope for the best, I guess.
Because who has time to wait for their oven to preheat?
That's true.
Now,
we want popcorn.
We want popcorn now. So after you preheat the oven, then you're gonna start making your popcorn. Now, as I said, I do it a special way in the microwave with our BPA-free container. It's actually a glass bowl. The only problem with this is that it takes a little bit longer.
That's all right. I'd rather make it take a little bit longer and you don't have to
Less
use any
calories.
oil or anything like that. Less calories, but then we're gonna put a stick of butter in there, so.
Whole butter. And
Calorie conscious popcorn here.
so you're gonna pour the popcorn into this little bowl. Now, you can just do it like pour it in, but I use a little bowl because what happens is when the popcorn pops, it kind of pops out, and then on the outside of the bowl, like on the outside of in here, you kind of get the popped popcorn around it, and it keeps kind of most of the kernels that haven't popped in there, so it's easier to just transfer out. So that's just a tip that I do. All right, so you pour the popcorn into here. Now, you can't do a whole lot of it, so I'm probably gonna do
about half, I reckon, or
yeah, just under a half.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna put that in the microwave for 5 minutes with the lid on it because it will pop out everywhere. so while that popcorn's popping, we're gonna put our baking paper on our trays. Apparently the silicone mats are better to use, but we don't have any, so we're using the baking paper. But a quick tip is that you put water or butter down before you put the baking paper, and it makes the baking paper stick to the tray better. To create the caramel, get your saucepan and set stove heat at a medium temperature.
Begin to melt the butter and then add your brown sugar and maple syrup.
And wait till the mixture is melted, and then begin to add the salt, baking soda, and vanilla sugar.
Whisk for about 5 minutes until the mixture is fluffy and a light brown colour.
Now we are going to start pouring the caramel onto the popcorn. This is a very tricky part, but at the moment Robbie's just whisking.
So am I just pouring it like that?
Yeah, so use half of it, make sure you spread it evenly. So you've got to do it while it's hot because the syrup is still running.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you have a few that aren't coated, because it's nice to have the lightly caramel parts mixed in with the big parts.
And you'll notice it might not look super evenly spread now, but as soon as you stick it in the oven, it kind of melts away and it spreads evenly.
Okay, it's ready to go in the oven. I already forgot to look at it, and we've already burnt a little bit. So it's fine. I'm okay with burnt food. I don't know about Robbie, but we'll just pick up the pieces. The other one's on the bottom layer. Because I had it on grill, you get some burnt. All right, so what I'll do, fix this up, put this one at the bottom, and we'll do one thing at a time. Now, this just shows you reality and just shows you we're not chefs. So don't follow our recipe. No. When you go to the and get caramel popcorn, that's what it should look like.
Put this one back in.
So if yours looks like this, you've got it wrong. If yours looks like this, you've done it right. So we've got to turn it around again and do another toss, because you've got to get all the layers a little bit brown, like that top part. And when you get a caramel from the caramel popcorn, it's actually that darker brown.
Now we'll do a quick taste test.
How does the burnt one taste? Still tastes fine?
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, I didn't get one.
Oh, well, now that she's had three pieces.
No, you've had way too many.
Now that she's had 3 pieces, I get to have 5.
You can't even taste that it's
But I'm
burnt.
bigger than you.
Stop it! I knew you were going to grab that. I was going to take that one.
Oh yeah. 3 times in and out, tossing it perfect. Even coating, but it's not burnt.
So we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes to cool off, and then we're going to start breaking it apart with our hands.
Yep.
Do not do it when it's hot. I burnt myself. Now that we've let it set, we're going to start pulling apart the popcorn. So you just use your hands and just kind of break everything up so that they're not all stuck together. I have these just around the house. No, seriously around the house. It's not like I've just pulled these, but I went and got them from the shops before. No, literally we had these around the house. And I thought these would be really cute, so it feels like you're at an actual movie cinema. leave a comment and tell us what your favorite flavored popcorn is, and make sure you like it.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.
See ya!
Woo! See you guys.
What was that? Yeah, you're supposed to really pour it?
It looked like you were pretending to pour and a little bit came out.